And welcome back to BVarsity Live. We are live at Citrus Valley High School in Redlands for the CIF State Division II SoCal Regional as Ridgeview has made the trip down here to take on Redlands East Valley. We're now joined by the head coach of the Wolfpack. And Coach Manny, long time no talk. You guys are doing pretty well coming off that CIF championship and Valley champs, and now trying to continue their season here in the state.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good run for us, we got up this morning, had Boosters fed us breakfast. We came to town on a double-decker charter bus and got here, and the Boosters fed us, and we have no excuses at all.
Dennis, this is one of those things we were just talking about. Everybody in Kern County knows the grass fields, knows how bad it can get in November, December, especially after that rain last week. But now here you are on this field turf. Just talk about, what this is going to be able to do for your team. Getting guys like Darius out there and be able to run around. Obviously, Sheldon's got some good speed, Jamar, Lawrence, and just kind of what this field brings to the tempo that you guys can set early tonight if you can.
Well, we did a lot of passing league stuff in the off season, and so I think our kids are used to the turf. I don't think it's going to bother us at all. They're not going to be thinking that we're not going to be fast on the turf, and I think they'd welcome it. Our field was getting a little wore out and a little slippery, and it was that case last weekend. So I think they're going to feel fast and be fast, but I'm not exactly sure how fast they are. So it's going to be a fun night. I think it's fun to play on a good field.
It's almost Christmas time, and you guys are still playing football, so that's a good feeling. How was that trip down here to Redlands?
Hey, it was beautiful. I mean, it feels like Bakersfield weather right here, so we're used to that. It's a little bit cooler here, but we're used to a little fog weather. So, I mean, it almost feels like home field for us.
I remember some of those fog bowls. You at Foothill, I think it was at Hanford, I want to say, Hanford West, or one of those fog bowl games that you guys were in the playoffs a couple years back.
All right, Dennis, 5 practices in now to gear up for this Redlands East Valley team. Just talk about, what you've been able to see, what and kind of, figuring out this spread offense, which really, I mean, if you look at it numbers-wise, it's a spread offense that does balance it between the pass and the run game, and just, what you see out of this and what you expect out of tonight.
Well, the more you watch them on film, the better they get. I mean, their offensive line is really good. Their skill guys are really good. Their sophomore quarterback, is really exceptional. Very accurate. Throws 70%. So, it's an offense that if you're missing any of those things, it's not going to work too well for you. So they're dangerous. I mean, we feel like we got a good plan, and we feel like our kid's going to play fast. But you got to make plays. We put in the work, Hayes in the barn, like Coach Collis used to say, and let's see what happens.
Coach, is this game just icing on the cake? Was the Valley title sweet, and this is just kind of a bonus? Or, that Valley title you celebrated for a night or two and then got back to work?
Well, that's what it was. I mean, our goal was to win the Valley. I mean, so when we won the Valley, it was so cool. And now, honestly, it's all about the state. So we want to win this one, man. I mean, we want to win this one as bad as we wanted to win last week. And, it's just, it's another week to compete. And, that's what we try to get our kids to compete and not take anything for granted. Everything's important. All the little things that go into trying to win a football game to give yourself the best chance to win is what it's all about. And, hopefully, our kids play fast, they play physical, and they compete all night.
Kern County is a very unique area where everybody has their own stadium, where you come down here, 2 or 3 are just like up in the Clovis, Fresno area, where 2 or 3 schools are sharing one field. So you get Thursday night games, you get Saturday games. But this is a unique atmosphere and a unique situation where the kids got to wake up this morning and it's all about today. And it's that, when we talked about it, and I wrote about it today in the Bakersfield Californian about how, this is kind of like a college atmosphere where you guys have spent the whole day. Just talk about how the kids have kind of, maneuvered through the day and kind of set up and gotten ready for this type of environment where it's all football on this Saturday.
Well, first of all, hopefully it makes some of these kids want to play college football. I mean, that's kind of one of our goals, and we got a lot of kids playing college football. We feel, very proud of all that, and our kids are all doing well. But, if these kids are a little bit nervous, you can tell. I mean, they want to play well, they want to win, but, they're family, and it's funny. It's just like, we go over to the park, and, they hang out like, you do with your cousins and your brothers and all that kind of stuff, and they get along so well, and they pull for each other. It's really a great team to be a part of, and, same thing with the coaching staff. I mean, we're tight. We joke with each other all the time. You got to have thick skin to be in our group, because if you don't, you're not going to last very long. The same thing with the kids. They get on each other, but nobody gets hurt. And it just makes them closer. So, I think it's a fun event. They know what it's all about, and they want to play well.
Well, we saw what BHS did, obviously, last season, winning that Division I state championship. Do you think what you guys are doing this year and just making it to the state playoffs in Division II is helping put Kern County football on the map and the level of football that you guys are at?
Well, I tell you what, it's the Bakersfield and Fresno area, I mean, there's a lot of great football being played there. Our kids are tough, they're physical. I think you see that. If somebody in Kern County area is a starter and they're a star, they usually go on and have successful, college careers. And I think that, we've got a few kids like that. We got a few kids that are going to go play some Division I football and I think do very well. Sometimes I think the football is a little bit underrated, honestly. When people come in, I'm going, hey, they'll start for you, and I think they think I'm kidding, but I really genuinely believe they're going to start for them. Most of the time they do.
You got great alumni. You're in your 6th year here at Ridgeview. You've got the Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year in Kumar Cotton Moya. You've got Kyrie Wilson, who starred this year at linebacker for Fresno State. We talked about the coaching brethren that have called you and said, hey, congratulations, Dennis, go get them. What about those alumni? How are they reacting to, Ridgeview football playing at the state level? Have you talked to Kumar? I know that Jamar talks to his older brother a lot. What's the response from the alumni and your former players leading up to tonight?
Well, honestly, I don't talk to him that much, but Kumar and I are pretty, we're pretty close. I think, and I think a lot of it has to do with, he wasn't the greatest kid, and now, he's honestly, he's probably the greatest example. And, so that in itself, probably brought us together because I put so much energy into him. Kyrie, great kid, and Shannon, great kids, and all, but they were great kids, and they had things, going smooth and, never really in any trouble at all. So, not that Kumar was ever in serious trouble, but, just that, I think, that relationship we have. But, he's got a little brother, and he's from day one. He's helping us coach because he's in the mindset of all the kids that Twitter and all that. So he helps us. He knows what we're trying to push the kids. He just say yes, coach, and let's go. And that's what we ask of our kids. And if they don't do it, then they're going to have problems for a while. So he helps from that mindset, and it's really been helpful.
Hey, Coach Manning, what are some of the challenges of having just 6 days to prepare for an opponent that you really don't know too much about, at least if you're playing a team in the Valley playoffs? You read the Californian or you hear about these other teams from Fresno or Clovis or Dinuba or wherever, but a Redlands East Valley squad, I don't know if you've even heard of that school before last week, and then you just jump on Huddle and check them out. What are some of the challenges of playing a brand new opponent like that?
Well, that's the whole thing, is that you hope that they don't know anything about you either, But honestly, on film, it's probably the best team that I think we played. That's just my honest opinion. I think, their O-line, their D-line, their defense, they're just everybody on their squad, from quarterback to receivers, just everybody, does their job, and they're coached very well. I think it's gonna be a fun night, and I hope we play well.
What do you think is going to be the biggest key for you? Is it starting off and getting your tempo first, or is it kind of figuring out exactly how your defense is going to match up to that kind of spread offense? What is the biggest thing for you as a coach going into this that that these kids need to do right away to be successful tonight?
Well, they strike me as kind of a big play team. I think, that's the first thing. We can't just, let them get any big plays on us and keep the ball in front of us defensively. Offensively, there's a couple series, late in the game we went 3 and out. And, we put our defense back on the field. When you're having to catch, chase these guys all night, on defense, you don't want to be out there all night because, sooner or later it's going to catch up with you. So, defense lends into offense lends into defense.
I was talking to Zach and Trevor about this before you came on here, Coach Manning, and about the fact that if you guys run the ball and kind of melt that clock down, is that going to play in your favor to keep this low scoring and keep their offense off the field? Or, you're going to try to fight fire with fire and, try to get to a shootout? Which one plays into the Wolfpack's favor?
Well, if we're running the football, we're having success, you're going to see us run a lot of plays on the ground. We don't just love to throw. We throw, to keep you honest and, and take advantage of certain things you might be doing. But, we certainly prefer to run the football. So hopefully, honestly, Crony gets about 35 carries tonight.
Well, Dennis, before we get going, this is a great senior class you've gotten. 3 of them on your offensive line. 4 of them are on your offensive line. Sorry about that. 3 of them have been 3-year starters for you. Just talk about what it's been like for you this season, because you talked about in July and August about how this is the most talented team you've had. But is this the closest knit team you've had? What has it been to have guys like Justin James and Mario Stroga and Matt Lease, Jacob Lopez, Sheldon Croney on this squad leading the way for you?
I think what we have the most of is just, kids that take the game serious and they want to win. And, I think when you have that premise, you can do a lot of things with that. And, from there, we're just all, I'm a competitive person. And, so let's take this thing serious and let's do your job and get other people to do your job. And if we don't have to worry about, your feelings getting hurt or any insecurities you have about a coach yelling at you or any of that kind of stuff, then we're going to progress. And we've got enough talent, and then but it's all, I think, started with our O-line, D-line guys. Man, they got a mentality. They all feel the game's about them.
What has it been for you? And you're going to have to put on your modest hat here for a second. You're going for win number 60 in your 6th year here at Ridgeview. The program was not bad, but you've turned this program into a great program. 4 state Valley Championship appearances, now 2 in the last 3 years, and now here you are on the big state stage. What do you think? Is it you and your coaching staff being able to find the athletes on campus and bringing them out finally in the Ridgeview area, or is it finally the school kind of finding an identity within this sport, or what do you think has been your biggest key to success over the last 6 years?
It's a great question. I mean, honestly, I think it's just like teaching and coaching. You never know what impact that you might have or a coaching staff has had. All I can say is that we're all competitive people. We have a great coaching staff. We have a lot of, administrative support. Our kids are competitive. We got talented kids, and I think when everybody's on the same page and everybody's committed to a common goal, you have success. And I think we're fortunate enough to have enough talent to win some football games.
All right, we're about 2 hours away from kickoff. Coach Manning, I'm sure you have 1,000,001 things to do to get ready to take on Redlands East Valley. We really appreciate your time, and best of luck tonight in this Division II SoCal Regional.
Good to see you, Pep. Thanks.
Good to see you too, Coach Manning. When we come back, we'll break it all the way down on Redlands East Valley and hear from their quarterback, Armando Herrera. That's coming up next on BVarsity Live.